both of you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Excellent.
I'm still wide awake.
Awake. I don't know how wide.
Well, I've seen the both of you on TV and on movies for so many years now, and I'm happy to say that a lot of the things y'all do were some of my childhood, and I'm glad to grow up and speak to you right now.
Oh, that's
Thank
so
you, Will.
kind.
Thank
you.
Welcome. I guess we shall get right to it. So, we got the It show that's coming out real soon, and how does this role for the both of you compare to the ones y'all did in the past?
I couldn't have played this role in the past. I had to be the age that I am in order to play it. A lot of times you'll get parts that you're too old for or that you're too young for. You'll see a lot of actors get those kind of parts. Oh God, that guy's way too old for that role. And yet I'm exactly the right age to play this part. And that's one of the most outstanding aspects of it, is that I had to wait. I've had a 50-plus year career, and I've had to wait all that time to get to play General Shaw in Welcome to Derry.
I'm going to echo the same sentiments, and you started with that, Julian. Just saying that you've seen, our career, and of course I've been watching James as well, and just a huge fan since The Warriors.
Yes.
Ajax. It's indelible. So
Watch out.
it does feel that way as well. Within my own culture, I'm kind of a baby elder, so I'm kind of stepping into a role within Indigenous culture within my circles. And it does feel very much like kismet and synchronicity that, this role was waiting, and this was the time it was supposed to be told. And I was just on that path, and those two things merged at the right time to tell this story for this world at this hour.
Yes. Going to my next question for you, what got you into character when it came to playing as General Shaw? Because this is quite huge, and he's been mentioned in the Stephen King books a lot, but now we're going to see him now.
Purely as an actor, the main thing that gave me permission to play the part was putting on that uniform. I would show up at work and, I'm just wearing my jeans and my t-shirt, that comes off, and then I put on this uniform. It's heavy, it's very rigid, there's not a lot of flexibility to it, and I got a chest full of medals. Right. And I got 3 stars on each shoulder. It's very, very heavy, there's a lot of weight to it. And so just putting on that uniform, knowing what it represents, really got me, that kick-started me into the character every single day.
How about you? What can you say about your character?
Well, to that same point, it was a deep understanding, both as Kimberly the actor and as Rose the character, that there's this responsibility of storytelling, because story helps inform our truth and how we respond to kind of what has happened in the past, what's happening right now, and what's going to happen in the future, and our relationship with that. So to be part of a story at the core of the story that is fundamental to the rules of the world, to the origins of the creature, to the first human beings that encountered the creature, and how did they respond to that. I'm carrying all of that knowledge within me. And so that's happening on screen, and off screen, Kimberly is also carrying that for my own tribe and my own family and my own people and my own culture. So it was a real beautiful marriage of the responsibilities, both on camera and off camera, to bring this truth to the story.
What were the first few days on set like, being in the Derry town? Because if I was going to that place, I would think there's a lot of weird stuff going on here. So what was the first few days for both of you like on set?
Well, my first days on set were on a sound stage. In the big control room that showed, the map of the world and the burgeoning Cuban Missile Crisis, and so that was really quite incredible. It was like stepping back into history. And I was a 9-10-year-old kid during that period of time, and I remember it on TV, and everything looked authentic. Now, going to the town of Derry, I shot my scenes with Kimberly at the store, the Secondhand Rose, in Port Hope, which is the real town that's Derry, but it's preserved so that you could be stepping back into the 60s. and there's an atmosphere. There's just this strip of the street, and then there's a bridge over the river, and there's a railroad, set of railroad tracks, and it's like this thing was just kind of cut out and picked up out of time and placed back in. You know, it wasn't 2023 or 2024 when I walked on those streets of Port Hope. It was the 60s, and all the cars that were lining the streets, they brought them all in from the 60s. So it was really walking back in time.
The amount of attention to detail was extraordinary. It wasn't something that you just saw with your eyes. It was something that you felt when you walked onto that street. That was also my first day. And I think I was on the first day of shooting, and we were on Main Street in Derry in secondhand rows. And so the smell of the antiques that were there in, secondhand rows, and then you would look outside and there would be these extraordinary human beings completely from, top to bottom, but not only walking in the clothes, but the carriage, right? The way that they were carrying themselves, the way they were walking with their hat or tipping their hat to each other. It was incredibly eerie and but also at the same time really empowering as an actor, because everything around you is there. We were just talking about using your imagination for a lot of things, especially with green screen. I didn't have to use my imagination. It was all there, and I could just glory in it.
I mean, if I was in the 60s, I would try to find good record stores to listen to music there, too.
Exactly. To get the radio going. Yep.
My final one for the both of you. Are there any episodes that really stood out to you, both when it comes to rewatching it back or the amount of scenes that you two acted in?
It's never amount, and for me, it's one continuous thing. It's like watching an 8-hour movie, which you don't do all at once. I don't. I can't pick a favorite. I'm into the whole thing, top to bottom.
Yeah, agreed. It does feel it's all of a piece, and yet each hour feels like its own movie, like a beautifully crafted piece of cinema, and you can't. It's like there's not even a place to pull out one piece from another, because they're all so integrated. And then sometimes even you see pieces, right, that have happened before. They're just woven together so beautifully and intricately. I don't think you could pull one out. I couldn't either, any way as a favorite.
Awesome.
In other words, watch them all.
Watch them all.
Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day today.
Thank you, Julian.
Thank you, Julian.
I know it's a busy day for y'all today, and hopefully Pennywise isn't behind you.
I know. No, exactly.
You better watch out. Fooling around with the general here.